Hey, sir.
Well, hello. Hello, hello, hello.
You know what's really good? What's really, really good? It's nice to see you every single week, like nice and clear.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Because at your last place, it was like, I always wondered leading up to the show, I wonder if we're going to be able to see Lex really clear today.
Or how many times I'm going to drop in and out with connection issues.
Well, it's funny because I just as everybody knows, or who anybody that watches the show, that I stream through Melon. We were doing StreamYard for a while because we started out with Melon first, and then we were doing StreamYard because we were having so many problems with Melon. And now we've gone back to Melon because I figured out the problems. And I don't think I told you this, Lex. I meant to tell you is remember all those problems that we were having at the beginning?
Yeah.
And then you thought they were your fault?
Yeah.
They weren't. They were my fault.
Oh. Well, isn't that a relief?
And I'll tell you why. I figured it out what was going on and what was wrong is when I was setting up the show. And then when you set up the show and then you post it and then it goes out everywhere where you're posting, it gives you a link. I wasn't copying that link. What I was doing was when you guys came up or when I was on there, when I logged in, I would copy the link that was in the top left-hand corner, which was the wrong link. So I was sending you the link for where I was at that point on Melon, not sending you the scheduled link.
Well, that makes sense.
So that's why we kept on getting kicked out, or you guys kept on getting kicked out. You guys actually weren't getting kicked out. What was happening was you were still in that room that you came up on with the link that I sent you that day. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I figured that out, and that was my problem. We had a good chuckle about it on another live I did on Facebook. So it's funny. I never told you that, and I meant to tell you that. And I kept on forgetting each week. I'm telling you. So I take back anything I said negative about you in those first few weeks of the show. And no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So we have a great show today. We have a good group of I think there's two people coming up. I've been watching their videos. They have some incredible videos. And I watched one today. I watched their latest one today. I think it's part 2. And it was good. It was good. And so before we came on live, I asked her the trick because they don't have a lot of videos up there, but they almost have 1,000 subscribers. So I was asking her what the trick was. So she wasn't sure. So we're going to ask her partner, Chris. Maybe he can tell us, maybe he can share us the secret on how they're getting so many subs because I'm doing everything they're doing. So are you, Lex.
Yeah, so, but they are doing exceptionally well. I mean, what is it? 2 months old, I think the channel is, or at least the first video is. So they've done extremely well in 2 months.
Yeah, for sure. So before we get to them, let's find out what Lex has been going through all week. Have you released that video yet? Because I haven't seen anything.
Nope.
What is going on? What is the holdup?
2 things. One, me being lazy, and the other one being work. So I've been, when I finish work, I just want to come. I'm working evenings every day.
Okay.
So when I get up in the daytime, I tend not to want to do anything. But I do have Tuesday and Wednesday free. So, well, most of Tuesday free, but Wednesday is free. So it should be on by Wednesday.
Okay. So what I was thinking was, the reason you weren't putting it up is because you're hesitating a little because you're unsure if the show's really going to do well.
Oh, no, I'm sure.
I think it's a little bit of nerves in there too.
No. Definitely not. I'm never nervous.
Are we going to have another talk?
No, not yet. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, that's great. Anything else going on?
No, not really. We're in a weird transition now because obviously the show I was doing with Parachills, where we finished the season, so we're kind of, I don't know how long we're stopping before we do the next one.
Mm,
So it's been pretty chill, really. It's just overseeing that side of things at the moment,
mm,
and that's pretty much all I've been doing is just keeping an eye on that. Still trying to find places around here that are worth investigating.
yeah.
Uh, but other than
Have
that,
you
not
spoken to
a lot
John yet? Have you spoken to John?
from GSI.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a date. We've got a date
Yeah.
done.
What's your date?
So I'm going on. I think I said October 3rd. I think.
Okay, so this might be the plan. Okay. I'm going to let you know now. Me and John have spoken.
Oh.
And I'm thinking about, I want to go to the States. I really do. But there's been a lot of problems going into the States.
Mm.
So I'm actually considering going to the UK instead.
I mean, it is the better place. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No offense to the Americans in the room,
No.
but
So I'm actually thinking about going to the UK because there are so many problems with me getting in the States. So I'm thinking about coming to the UK in October, the beginning.
oh wow. Let me start. I've got it calendared, so because I didn't want to forget it.
Yeah.
But where's it
So,
gone?
well, why don't you do that after? Why don't we go on with the show? But I'm thinking at the beginning of October.
Oh, it's
So,
24th of October is my one.
yeah.
I'm at the
So
end.
I'm not exactly sure. I might wait till then. I might wait till then if you're going out with them then.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So I'm thinking about doing that because there's just so many problems getting into the States right now. And I'm afraid if I'm going to fly, I'm going to get there and they're going to turn me right back around.
Yeah, like they did at the border.
Well, I'm at the border. I can drive home. I'm going to have to wait for the next flight to get home.
Oh yeah, true.
So I'm not sure what I'm going to do right now. John has been talking to me and convincing me to come up to the UK instead of going to the States. But I'm not sure. So I'm up in the air right now. Other than that, not much else going when it comes to investigations. Obviously, I'm putting on my clips every single week as
Yep.
much as I can, Wednesdays and Fridays. I will say Parapost. I did put something up at the beginning of the week. I think it was this week. We are in the process of maybe changing the whole look of the site.
Oh really?
Yes. It's doing extremely well right now. We figured we might as well do it now. Um, Nobody has to worry about losing any information or anything like that. It's just changing the look of the site. So, again, if you are not with Parapost, and I'm going to say it again, if you're not with Parapost Network, again, we're over 12,000 views a month now. We are getting those numbers now. Before it was under, now it's over. So if you're not with Parapost Network yet, and I'm going to tell Iconjure TV, they need to get up on the site and start posting their stuff up there because they'll get a lot more views. And things are going well with Parapost. So yeah, so we're going to be changing the outlook of the site. We're going to be adding a few more things. Obviously, Mike just got back from his trip out in Iowa, which he supposedly had an amazing time. I watched one of his lives, and
Yeah.
the place is crazy. But supposedly the second place was even more crazier. So we'll see what that video is like when he gets it up. But other than that, I'm doing an investigation next week. I just booked another investigation for the 18th. That will be going up onto Paraflix. So things are going well with that. And other than that, there's not much else going on. So why don't we get to the show? Why don't we get to our guests? I'm looking forward to talking to these two people. Obviously, I think it was through Instagram that I met them and asked if they wanted to come up on the show. I watched one of their videos and I said, I would like to bring these people up. So we have Kim and Chris on the show today, and Chris is not there. He's there, but he's not there. You know what I mean? He's on mute, and but we'll bring up Kim for now, and we would like. Oh, there he is. He's up there now. So we'll bring them both up and get this show started. So here we go. Here's Kim, and here's Chris. And everybody's looking great today when it comes to the cameras. Some weeks we just Some weeks it's really, really bad. But I'm glad everybody's here. I'm glad you guys could do the show. It's very nice meeting you both. And like I said earlier, I watched one of your videos today, the second part, your latest one that you just released. It's great. Yeah. I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm so happy you guys could be on the show today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yes, thanks.
So there might be a little bit of a delay, I think, because seems to be a little gap in there, about 4 or 5 seconds. So that's okay. So so why don't we get started here? What I wanted to ask you guys, and both of you can answer this, how did you guys get started in the paranormal? And Kim, you can go first.
So basically, I've always been into this sort of thing since like being really young. Most Haunted did it for me because when I was about 12, I watched one of their episodes and literally watched them, my whole life. And we started going on the Most Haunted events and things like that, like more recently over the past, 2 or 3 years or so. And we literally, the guys that were into coming on the actual events with us, we just said, instead of spending so much money on the events, shall we just put the money together, get a bit of equipment, and just go on itself and just see what we get. And that is literally how it all started. It's
a very good way to start. I mean, Most Haunted doesn't have the best reputation as a paranormal source nowadays. I've spoken a lot about them, to be fair. Actually, my whole second season is based on going to places they went to and doing it properly. So, but it's a good way. I started the same way. A lot of my interest came from watching that when I was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we've lost Chris again. He seems
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, seems to be going in and out a bit. So, I'm sorry. What is the group? Sorry, you guys mentioned the name there. I didn't catch it.
Most Haunted.
Most Haunted.
Yeah, Most Haunted.
It was a TV show in the UK.
Okay.
You might know it if you've ever heard of the fake medium Derek Akora.
No.
He was, he's good. I'll send you a link to it later, Brian. It's funny, but he was basically caught faking being possessed and stuff like that, and it threw the whole show into rebuke. Now they still show it all the time, but they lost all their credibility from it.
Most Haunted. Is there a guy that he's kind of darker skin with a goatee and dark brown hair? Is that one of the guys? I think that might be on.
No.
I think it might be on Investigation Discovery out here in Canada. Most Haunted.
Unless that's a different version.
Yeah,
it's hosted by a lady called Yvette Fielding.
Okay, yeah. No, it's a whiter guy with blonde hair.
Yeah,
it's on the show. Yeah, okay, yeah. I have seen it. So I think Chris is having a little bit of. Can you hear us, Chris? Yeah, he seems to be having a little bit of.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's okay. So
Sorry
we will
that.
go on, and when he gets back on here, I'll just bring him back up.
Yeah.
Lex. Oh, there he is. So we'll ask him. Oh, that's better. You're having a few little issues. No worries. So why don't you tell us, Chris, how did you get into the paranormal?
I wasn't originally a believer. It wasn't. I suppose it was more so I was ignorant to it. And then we started watching Most Haunted, and I got more into it each day, and then eventually we went to Most Haunted Experiences. So it was all through Kim. How I got into it, and ever since then I haven't looked back. It's been great.
Well, that's great. It's funny because my editor, who edits my videos for Paraflix, he's a skeptic. He's a non-believer.
Oh, right.
When he first started, and when he first started editing my videos, and now I think it changed his mind completely, because obviously he's hearing the voices and not necessarily capturing anything, but when it comes to visually, like an apparition or something like that, I've caught a couple of apparitions, but it's mostly been EVPs, stuff off the SB7. But he was a huge skeptic. He's one of those guys that he has to see it in order to believe it. So just because you're hearing voices doesn't necessarily mean it's spiritual. So, but that was at the beginning. But now I've kind of changed his mind, and he looks forward to going through my videos and editing them and seeing what we've captured on the microphone or the camera or the SB7, which obviously I'm a huge fan of. So anyways, Lex, go ahead.
So I just want to roll off. It's not on the questions that we normally ask, but I just want to ask this one because of what you both said and how you get into it. How do you fit when you? I don't know if you've gone back and watched any of those episodes. Since in the 2 months you've been doing this, has that changed your perception on what got you into it compared to you guys doing it in real life?
Well, this is the thing for me. Yes, 100%, because I've spoke to the group about it actually, and I've said to them that, like, I don't know, it just feels a bit far-fetched. That, and the fact that I don't know, when we've been on the Most Daunted events and things like that, certain things have only happened when certain people have been in the room.
Okay,
and we were kind of clicking into that a bit. And we have actually got a Most Daunted experience book still in November time that was, before COVID and all that sort of stuff. So it's obviously been moved, which was before we'd obviously started our own thing. So we're going to go there now with all our stuff and just be like doing our own little thing there.
That'd be quite interesting to see, especially because now you know what you're looking for.
Yeah,
it'd be
definitely
interesting to see if you can pinpoint. Well, that's obviously Jim.
Yeah.
That was Jim.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah,
this is
it's
what
quite
I
good.
mean. Like, this is the thing. Because, I mean, certain things like only happen when people are in the room. Like I say, when certain people are in the room, and I'm just going to wait and just see what, we get. Now our eyes are well and truly opened.
That's a good idea. I like that.
So you want to go ahead with the next one?
Yeah, I'll roll into the next one. So obviously Brian mentioned it earlier, and I think I've watched some of it. I haven't finished it because I was at work. Of your children's home investigation I think that's the last one that was up. Yeah. So why don't you, if you guys would like to, tell us a little bit about that last investigation and what it means to you, and what can we expect coming up next?
So the children's home, we had been the first time, so we had a part 1, and then we went again. We collabed with Inspire Paranormal. There's not many teams that know the location of this place, and we have been sworn to secrecy and where it is, just because, I don't know, this team found it first, I suppose. It's kind of like a loyalty thing. But the actual, when we went there, we didn't feel like we got as much. We knew we got stuff, but we didn't know we got as much as we did, and we always expect that now. But on the video, obviously, you see, we had disembodied footsteps, disembodied breath, intelligent responses from the app, just intelligent responses all round, the ball flashing, stuff moving around in the bushes. But I have said this in another podcast before, we throw up question marks in the video because we're not 100%. We want that, leave that open to question. And we get loads of comments asking, what they think it is, what they've heard. So, and for what's upcoming for us, we've got loads of collabs coming up. We went to a museum. That's going to be massive. That was big thanks to Kim.
The museum was crazy. That a new haunted museum's opened up here around by us, and they asked us to go along and do an investigation there, and that was only last night. And honestly, the amount of stuff that happened there, it was crazy. I've got to say, that is our most active location that we have ever been to. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm always kind of, I always kind of find it funny when paranormal investigators are out at a location And yeah, okay, they're at this location, but if they bring another team, they say, well, you can't let anybody else know where this location is. And I always
Yeah.
find kind of funny that people do that. Wouldn't you want other paranormal investigators to go out there, because
Yeah.
they might
Yeah.
find something, and then if they do, you can go back to that location, and if they ask a certain question, you can turn around and ask that exact same question, and you might get a response. It might be a different response. I just don't understand why paranormal investigators are so secretive about this stuff. It just doesn't make
See,
any
this is the
sense
thing.
to me.
Yeah,
It
we're not
might
bothered in the
be.
slightest.
Yeah.
It might be because of the urban explorers. I think I
I
don't
think
discredit
a lot of
this.
abandoned places get wrecked by idiots.
Yeah.
So I think because it was empty, they didn't want people breaking in, because it's like a grade 2 listed building, it's out in the sticks, it would be easily accessible to the wrong people.
Yeah.
I can see that. I've been to a few places that have
Yeah.
been destroyed by people.
Yeah, and I understand
Yeah.
that. I understand that completely. But at the end of the day, there's still going to be people that are going to know where it is and find it. And if they want to
Oh
destroy
yeah.
it, they're going to destroy it regardless. If
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
finds it. So it's just something that I've always been curious about. I guess I just because all the places that I go to, or a lot of places I go to, not necessarily people know about them, but I do share it out where it is, and and maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. I guess I'm a little more transparent than some other groups, I guess. So,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. So let me ask you this, and you, Chris, you can answer this first. When you guys go out in investigations, what is the piece of equipment that you prefer to use out of any other piece of equipment?
So over the course of the weeks that we go out, each investigation, it's changed. The very first video was the S box. Then we brought more kit. We got the sensor balls, a really go-to thing for us, the cat balls basically. But now we use the app, the Spirit Talker app, Necrophonic, so then we can latch onto words. So if some like name comes through, object or something, we can latch onto it. So if like Sarah comes through, we'll go, Sarah, are you here? Hopefully that brings up the energy. So it's pretty much the apps and the
Yeah.
balls, basically.
Yeah, yeah. And Kim, do you have a preferred choice on what you like, or is it the same as Chris?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's the same really. The cat balls we get a lot of, responses on, and a lot of the time it's been intelligent responses. But secondly, I like to open the night with the Spirit Talker app, because you can gain a lot of information about, the spirits that are coming through. Do you know what I mean? And then that leads you along your way.
Okay. So you guys like to do your using your equipment right at the beginning. So you believe that with doing that it's going to help them come out a little better. So as the night goes on, they're going to communicate a little better than they have, like maybe somebody else has gone in there. Is that how you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it helps direct the investigation also,
Yeah,
because
that's
we
what I
kind of
think.
go in we
Directed.
kind of go in blind, don't we? We check the history of the place, but sometimes you don't know names or what's happened, so you go in blind. So we like to use them things to conjure up some spirits, and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm definitely the type of investigator that when I walk into a room, I like to get the feel of the land or the house or wherever I'm going. And I like to feel it out first and see what kind of vibe I'm getting. I know you guys don't know me really well, and I don't know if you've watched any of my videos or anything like that, but I am a sensitive. So I am able to walk into a place and see. Sometimes it doesn't happen all the time, but I'm able to walk into a place and sometimes I can see them right away. And sometimes I can't. I don't know why I have that off and on switch, but it's there. And the reason I asked this question, because I always like to understand how somebody approaches an investigation, and if they like to bring that equipment out first because they think or they believe that they're going to connect with the spirits or what's ever there faster, or maybe have a better connection. How do you feel about that, Kim?
Yeah, I think that, if you've got the information there that you can, feed from. So say, like you said, if a Sarah came through, we could then, go through the night. I mean, for one example, we were at Cannock Chase, and Alice came through on, I think it was part 1 or something like that. And when in the part 2 video, when we moved from that specific spot to another, everything was going mental. The EMF was going off, the balls were going off, and we were hearing noises and everything. And when we were mentioning this Alice's name from before, and we were asking if it had followed us, the balls were lighting up, and so it kind of helps you out in that respect, that you feel like you can actually get some intelligent responses if they feel like they're talking to someone that knows who they are as well, sort of thing. Because no one in our group are sensitive.
Yeah.
We had a Vincent come through, didn't we, with the Corbett Castle, and that's another
crazy,
thing.
Yeah.
And we researched it after and realised
we didn't know.
it could have been the Sir Vincent Corbett.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
Yeah. So when you walk into a place, do you find that sometimes, and I know it doesn't happen all the time, but do you find sometimes when walking into a place that maybe a spirit might have a connection with somebody in your group rather than somebody else? Because I find sometimes when walking into a place, somebody might hear all the talking going, but then the person right beside you doesn't hear anything. Now, is it because, do you think it's because they want to communicate with you and not necessarily the other person that's standing beside you in a bigger connection?
100%. Yeah. We often say, go around the circle of the group that we're in, say, someone else might bring up a better, more active response, or, like Kim's been calling out before and nothing's happened, and then I've called out and something's happened, and then someone else so we do believe that, and we do that a lot.
Yeah, when I was watching your second part today, one question that I thought was just a really, really simple question, I thought it was really cool, is how many fingers am I holding up? And it said 5.
Yeah, that's what
it said 5.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really, really cool. It's like a similar question that I ask. What's your favorite color?
Yeah.
And I've gotten responses in the past, like when I've been to a tunnel, this tunnel that I go to, it's on the top 10 list in Canada for haunted spots. And I said, what is your favorite color? And it came out and said blue. And that was on the necrophonic.
That's the thing, because if these apps, if these spirits are connecting to us through these apps, if they couldn't see me, they wouldn't know how many fingers I was holding up. So to me, that just clarifies it solidly, because there's no way that a phone app can see how many fingers I'm holding up in the pitch black. Do you know what I mean? So
So and it's almost like I have a video up on Paraflix right now, and I was in the prison, an abandoned prison, and I asked, what is your favorite color? And it said red and blue. Wow. So it said 2 colors in a row. And like,
that's the thing.
That was not on the necrophonic though. That was on the SB7. That I got that. And that was incredible. I'm a huge fan of the SB7. I've been using the SB7 a lot lately and been getting incredible responses through the SB7. So yeah, it's I always find it interesting when you can go in with a group of people and one spirit will automatically connect with 1 or 2 people. And that's what I find so amazing about searching for the paranormal, because you can walk into a place and not get anything, and then somebody else walks in there and they get tons, and it's just incredible. I find it fascinating. So go ahead.
And just going back to the app situation and the talking, getting responses, we're open to use any equipment, and the apps we're not 100% on, but that's why we do the things with the fingers and we say how many fingers are, because then if we do get an intelligent response, we go, you know what, that's 100%. But we want that for the viewers and all. We want people to sit back and go, that's good. That is not like I'm a Fianari. We want that accuracy.
That's the thing, because with the apps as well, it's kind of hit and miss. Like, can it be feeding off the questions that you're asking? Do you know what I mean? So therefore, if you eliminate any question and just literally simply say, what's your favorite color, or how many fingers am I holding up, it's like, unless there's some form of spirit communicating through that app, they wouldn't know, would they? Do you know what I mean? The app wouldn't wouldn't be able to give you them intelligent responses.
Well, I think sorry, Lex. I think that's something that me and Lex have always talked about on this show when it comes to apps. Necrophonic is really the only app that it doesn't ask you if it can use your mic or your camera. Mostly the other apps do. So I don't know if there's any, I don't know if that makes any kind of difference or anything like that when it comes to, because you were using that one app and when I was watching the second one today. I think it was called Paratech. Is it called Paratech?
Yeah, that was Inspire.
Yeah.
So we use Spirit Talker and Necrophonic. Inspire Paranormal use the Paratech.
Yeah. So I know Lex has an opinion about it, and I will go ahead, Lex.
I don't have an opinion on it. I did a so Necrophonic I use a lot. Again, I went through I did a live video a while ago where I spoke about the actual technicalities of Necrophonic and why you can trust it. One of the main reasons being that it doesn't ask for permissions, which means your phone won't give it permission to do it. So it's good that you did the how many fingers, because if there was a microphone and you said what's your favorite color, it would just hear color and say a color. So the fact you did the fingers one and it still said a number is really proves my point right, that it's not listening to give you feedback. So that's good. The only one I've got an issue with now is that, so Spirit Talker I've got it, except the EMF detector on it is not working at all.
I don't even think that the EMF actually ever has worked on that.
It never has. I did it. Someone asked me to do a test on these different apps on a live stream, so I did them. Necrophonic was doing fine. Spirit or Paralys was doing okay, but it wasn't. It almost feels like it was recycling words, so I don't use that one anymore. Spirit Talk, I thought the words were good. I was getting stuff quite intelligently. But yeah, then I did the EMF test on it, and I was like, well, that doesn't work, so that was rubbish. So I think you've got a good balance between those two. I'd probably treat I would always go Necrophonic over Spirit Talker. Because anything that is an app that generates words to you, if you do it long enough, you can find a pattern. Now, I haven't done it with that one yet, but like with Paralys, I left it running for the entire day, and I got the same words recycled exactly the same time over the course of the day. So I am planning on doing one on Spirit Talker because I know it is made by a paranormal group, so you'd think you should trust it.
Yes.
But the fact that they put it out there with the EMF thing with it, and it clearly doesn't work, is why I question it. I don't think it works. I mean, for one, it's in a phone, so your phone would just set it off constantly.
Well, yeah, what is that? Because I mean, unless your phone's in airplane mode, you can't. It doesn't. It'll just keep setting it off.
Yeah, I mean, my phone's in airplane mode every time I use the apps. In general.
Yeah. Ours are as well. Just to put that out there, like our phones are always in airplane mode. Like the only one that isn't from time to time is mine. When I'm doing like Facebook Lives or anything. But other than that, everyone else's phone is in. And at the time as well, when we do the Facebook Lives, you know, I've said to Chris before, now you may as well put the K2 away because it's just absolutely pointless because I'll be setting it off all the time.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus, sorry.
Yeah, you know, and that's sometimes the problem with using equipment. Sometimes that's feeding off electro. You know what I mean? Like when you're doing the lives and you got the EMF out and stuff like that, and you can't really use it, you can't really trust it. Now, if you're 15 feet away from your phone to the EMF, then you can use it and stuff like that because it's not gonna set it off that far away. No, generally, I think the limit's about 6 feet.
Something like that, yeah.
And past that, it doesn't set it off anymore. So, but again, it's one of those things where you have to be careful. And Necrophonic is a good tool, and I did use that a lot at the beginning when I was filming my investigations last year. But I've kind of gotten away from it. And as people know, me, SB11 or SB7 is my biggest tool that I use now because I seem to get a lot of connection through the SB7 with. And it's just been an incredible tool. Now I'm getting into maybe the portal. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the portal. I'm waiting for that. Have you ever heard of the portal? It's like you hook up your SB7 to the actual, it's like a speaker, and it drowns out the white noise and actually the radio, and you just hear the voices coming through the SB7.
See, we've never used the SB7, to be honest with you, but I'm not kidding you. Every paranormal group that I've spoken to absolutely rates it. So I think that's probably a
stay away from the, I will suggest stay away from the SB11. I know a lot of people like using the SB11 because of the temperature on it.
Yeah.
Because people like that temperature. But I just find the when it's going through everything, or it's just very, very hard to pick up, and you don't really pick up anything. And I know the new SB7, I believe, has a temperature on it. Does it not, Lex? I believe the new SB7 does.
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I just find the SB7 is so basic, and it's just going through all those frequencies on the stations. I guess I think it's just, I don't know. I guess I'm going back to basics, because I think all this stuff that's coming out is I question sometimes, but I like the basic stuff, and if you can get something with basic, why not stick with it, right? So
exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So
if it's not broke, you don't need to fix it.
Exactly.
So first of all, I want to say, Ralph, hello from GSI, is in the chat. He said that apps are a great compass kit. They give you great direction which you can build on, and I 100% agree with that statement. I think it's very true. But the more experience you get, I think you find yourselves coming back off of app stuff, because I've started to stop using them as much. I'm starting to find household items that I can use, like bells, the cat balls that you guys use is another great example of that. Stuff that you can't hook to a computer and manipulate in any way. So I think it's really, when you say back to basics, I think sometimes it is just the best way to go. But I'll move us on. So seeing you've been to a few decent places in the time you've been doing it, and first of all, who does your thumbnails, by the way? Chris, they're really good. I was gonna say, like, when I was looking at how did they get this many things, I think the thumbnails probably play a really big part in it, because they're really good. But I did want to say, out of the places that you've been to, what's been your favorite one?
I'll go first. Yeah, the museum and Cannock Chase. Them are the two standout ones for me. Obviously, the museum isn't on our YouTube channel yet. That'll probably be up in the next couple of weeks or so. But out of the ones that are on the channel, Cannock Chase was up there for me as well.
Yeah.
What was it about that one in particular?
What was that? Sorry?
What was it about that place in particular that really makes it stand out to you?
Just that you're in the middle of the forest. There could be murderers or anything around. And
there could be murderers. There could be murderers.
This is the UK. We've got some great killers in this country.
This is true.
Yeah, we definitely have. Yeah. But I think I did say on one of the blooper videos that at one point I was like, we need to be careful. We're in the middle of the forest. Who comes to the forest unless you're absolutely crazy and all that? It just puts you on edge, and I love that feeling of you just don't know what's going to happen next. Not necessarily even paranormal, just with the living. It's a bit of a.
It's one of those, you can't explain the feeling unless you're there. It feels like you're constantly watched, and I mean, you can go in any forest and say, you can feel that, but Cannock Chase is another level. It really is.
Well, I always say that as paranormal investigators, we're all crazy because we run towards the noises. Most people run away from them. So, definitely. When you say murderers, that's actually kind of funny. Actually,
I've actually got a good thing. So one of my videos, I've just my last one was in a 3-parter in a forest park. And we didn't feel, this was at the end of our night investigation. We were done. We'd packed up our gear. We were leaving. And I thought I could hear someone talking. So I was looking around. There's no one around. It's pitch black. My other half is scared out of her nut because we've had growls. She got grabbed. Horrible investigation. But there's still, well, say horrible, good investigation, but horrible circumstance for her and my best mate. And we're a bit on edge. And as you said, you felt like you're being watched constantly. And as we turn the last corner to get to the exit gate, there's this young couple walking their dog who we've just scared the shit out of because they've just got they're using their phone lights, and we've come around with like LED torches and stuff and scared them. So yeah, that made me jump. So I'm glad they weren't in the actual thick of it when we were investigating.
So now that Lex is asking what was one of your favorite places, Chris, why don't you answer this for me? What has been one of your scariest moments?
Is it a murderer?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you
Very
slightly.
quiet.
Yeah. Why don't we go to Kim and then you can see.
Gone dead on me.
Oh, there you go. There you
Oh,
go.
there you go.
The most scary, I say the children's zone part 1. When we went there, that was crazy because not only the gunshots, but when we heard rustling in the trees, it felt like someone was watching us, stalking us or something, and we felt really, really, really on edge, like on edge like we'd never been. It was really, really scary place. The second time, safety in numbers, as Inspired Paranormal have said, it is really better. It was better to part 2, but part 1, yeah, it was crazy the first time we went.
And Kim?
My most scariest moment was when we were in Cannock Chase and we were in the middle of the forest, like I say, and there was people walking past with torches, and I was like, "Oh my God, what are they doing?" I was more scared. I'm more scared of the living, honestly. Put me somewhere haunted any day. If there's anyone living that comes into a place like that in the middle of the night, you know, I've got serious issues with it. But they were walking past with torches, and then we were in our little group just talking quietly because we thought they'd gone, and all of a sudden this torch just shone up in my face, and I screamed. I was like, ah! But paranormally, you know, I find it hard to be scared because I'm so interested. So I'm like, do it again, do it again, do it again. I want more all the time. So I don't find it, you know, too scary with the spirits. I love the spirits.
Have you had any physical contact with them yet? Where being grabbed, pulled, punched, hit, scratched, whatever, any of those?
So
I've not,
wow.
I don't know.
Nothing as aggressive as that. But when we went to Corbett Castle, and I didn't realise it at the time because I think I was filming, and we were in the cellar part, and Chris actually asked out and said, you know, touch one of us, and I'm not joking. I felt like someone tickled my forehead, just like stroked it, and I actually thought I'd got a spider on my head, and I was like, and I jumped because I thought I'd got a spider on my head, and it wasn't until we got back. And I think, was it when we got back, or Chris was like, no, I've just asked him to touch her or something, touch us. And I was like, oh my God, like it didn't even click in my mind at the time.
We had the torch, so she was called and jumped and said, I've been touched. And then we shone the light just above her, and she goes, there's a spider up there. And I said, no, there's no spider. And she's like, I've just been touched. So then she clicked in.
Yeah. I think, was that the first time you were ever touched?
The second in the same night. So the first time was on the back of my head as we were at the top of the stairs of this cellar at the same place. But, you know, it's only happened them 2 times at that place. And when I say touched, I mean, you know, it's like as if they just letting me know they're there. It's nothing sinister or anything like that. It was just gentle touches.
Nice.
And did you get because I know I've been touched a lot, and over the years of me doing investigation, and most people, they say that when they get touched, it's usually a cold feeling. I've actually experienced a warm feeling when I was being touched, and it was actually a hand sitting on my wrist, and then it actually felt like a head was leaning on my shoulder, and it was a very, very warm feeling. And so when you got that touch, did it feel cool, or was it just the touch was there and gone and you didn't even recognize it?
The only way I can explain it is I genuinely, the main time when they touched my forehead, I felt like, the only way I can explain it is I felt like a spider was tickling my head. like just a gentle tickle. There was no hot or cold feeling. I genuinely just thought it was a spider, and that was that sort of thing. But yeah, I didn't have any other feeling.
Have you ever been touched, Chris? No.
I've had no. I had a strange feeling it kind of chased, but I don't know if that was just a part of not so much sleep or lack of food. I don't know, but I didn't really put it down to paranormal because I wasn't 100% sure that I just felt a bit off. But other than that, no.
But do you want to be?
I would like anything happen. Yeah, honestly, this is why we do it, because we want the most activity to happen to us, and yeah, I would like to be, dragged or scratched or pulled.
And I'd like to get it on camera.
Yeah, I would, honestly, and not just so I can get the content and got the views. No, I want confirmed something. I want my confirmation, because that's why I do it. I'm like 80% sure, you know what I mean? I get a little bit of activity and I trust in that, but I want that ultimate activity. I want to either see something or something pull me that isn't human.
Yeah. So, but at the beginning, you said you were a skeptic before you started. So where are you now on the scale between 1 and 10?
I do believe.
Yeah.
But when I say at the beginning skeptic, it was more so I was ignorant to it, and I just dismissed it instantly. It wasn't like I've looked into it and I thought instantly, nah, that's not real. It was just I'm a kind of a joker. So when we were watching Most Haunted at first, I was like, yeah, that's a load of rubbish, or that's crap, that's fake, and then eventually it was kind of like I just shut up. And it might have had the fact that she kept punching me, maybe.
Say that again, Lex.
I said, he wasn't wrong. So.
See, I'm not sure if I've seen it.
I'll send you the clip of this dude. I'll send you the. There is
a show here in Canada on Investigation Discovery, and it's called Most Haunted. And I don't know if it's the same thing. I'm assuming it is, but it's always interesting when you have that first experience when you're touched, and you are really not sure how you should be reacting.
No, Ralph just made a good point about this as well. That it's interesting. It's interesting so that as paranormal investigators, we automatically think it's something tangible before paranormal, unless you're part of the Most Haunted, of course. Nice. Well done,
so,
Ralph.
Ralph has apparently heard the Most Haunted too. So I guess it was a popular show in.
It was massive in the UK. It was massive.
So, was it
the one that started everything over here? Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys got some, we talk about this almost every week. Me and Lex saying that you guys have gotten so many places out there to investigate, and I think it's the most out of any place in the world. I know the States have a lot of places. I know Canada has, a fair number, not as much as the UK, but as I was saying to Lex at the beginning of the show, I'm thinking about going out there, hopefully in October, instead of going to the States, because it's really, really difficult to travel into the States right now because of COVID. And I already attempted once and I got denied, and I had to stay in quarantine for 2 weeks, even though I didn't go into the States. And it was ridiculous, but I'm thinking about getting out there. John from GSI has been asked me to come out there. So I think I'm going to go to the UK. And besides, my sister's out there. I can kill two birds. With one stone.
Well, there you go then.
So that's
there's a lot of historical places here that you can just go and investigate.
My fascination are the castles, to be honest.
I loved Corbett Castle. That was amazing.
Yeah, I know you guys have a lot of graveyards that are super old too, like majorly old. But I always find the graveyards, for me personally, I don't find that I get a lot out of them, to be honest. I've always truly believed that if somebody has passed away and they're being buried in a graveyard, why would they stay there? Why wouldn't they go back to the place that they know and love?
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's my belief. Now, I know some people have captured stuff in the graveyards, and which is fine, but I've been to 5, maybe 6 over my time, and I just find you might catch an odd noise here and there, or maybe a voice or something like that, but I don't know. So let me ask you this, guys, and you both can answer this. So if me and Lex were to give you a bag full of money, this is the fun.
All the money in the world, I said.
All
Brian.
the money in the world. I don't know why he says that. A bag full of money is basically a bag full of money. So if we gave you a bag full of money and you could go to any haunted location that you want to go to, where would that be? Kim?
Haven't a clue.
Okay, we'll start with Chris then. You think about it.
Yeah. Okay.
For me, there's nowhere in particular. I know you just mentioned the States and it's hard to travel, but when everything is free to travel, and I would just go to the States, but there'd be nowhere in particular. I'd want to travel the States and go to different known haunted locations. There's no one location for me that I want to go to. I just like pay to travel, and I just travel to the most haunted places.
I know that.
So
the States. That sounds.
The States is a good place.
Yeah.
They got a lot of asylums.
Oh yeah, like is it the Waverly Hills Sanatorium? I've seen investigations done there and stuff. That looks good.
Yeah. There's a good one in Canada too. It's the Tranquil Sanatorium is really good. It's in Vancouver. It's the number one spot, or the number one haunted spot in Canada, and it's like it's an asylum, but it's also like a little town. Like there's an abandoned buildings around it also, and you go in there. From what I've been told, you walk in there the first 5 minutes. If you don't have the wits scared out of you, there's something wrong with you, because the place is totally. The amount of activity you're getting is going to be incredible. This is what I've been told, and I'm planning to go out there. But you know what? The States are really good. They are really good for their asylums. But I think you guys are really good for your castles. And I think there's a few other spots that me and Lex have spoken about in the past on different shows, but it's interesting. And you guys don't know, obviously you guys, don't know where our spots are, but Lex, why don't you tell them where our spots are, or where our spot is? And then you guys might go, that's a good one.
Well, ours is 100%, no questions about it, is a go. I want to say its real name first. Is it? I can't remember anymore. Agigahara Forest, Suicide Forest.
Oh yes, in Japan.
That's the one we'd go to.
Yeah.
And
oh God,
treat it respectfully. Not do a Logan Paul.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just. Oh yeah, God. Yeah, but it's just so. I mean, even without the paranormal side of it, it is just purely interesting. Like, what goes on there and everything. It's just it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something that definitely interests me. Why somebody would fly 500 miles just to go to a forest and commit suicide is just.
I know.
It's crazy, and they say it's something in the atmosphere. It's almost like I can't really compare the two, but when I think of suicide forest, I think of the Bermuda Triangle for some reason. I don't know why, but I just think of that because of the mystery of the suicide forest and the Bermuda Triangle, and that's what I think of, and that's number one on my list. There's a lot of other spots and stuff like that, but suicide forest is my number one spot that I definitely want to.
Talking of haunted spots, I don't know if they're still using it, but the Hogwarts Castle in Scotland, I want to know if that's abandoned. Because if it is, I'd love to go there.
Spot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wizards.
Well, we can maybe find out. And I'll tell you the reasons why after Lex, but we can find out for sure.
Brian, come to Hogwarts with me.
It's definitely there's a lot of places all over the world that you can go to. It's it's never ending, and I'm a big believer in, if you go anywhere, you're going to find something. And I know it doesn't matter where you are. I think there's paranormal everywhere you go, whether it's a new building, whether it's an old building, whether you're walking down the street, because I see them walking down the street. So I know they're walking down the street. So you can go anywhere and capture something. So, but I want to thank you guys for being on today's show. It's been a real pleasure getting to know you and your I've been enjoying your investigations and watching your videos, and Lex is right about the thumbnails. Maybe what you guys can do, and I asked you before we went live, what is your trick? You guys have only gotten so many videos and you're already close to 1,000 subscribers. Chris, do you have the answer?
Hit one of the nails on the head. That, you know, the thumbnails, we try to be eye-catching. I suppose with the content, we're true to what we do. I mean, I know other investigations, I don't want to discredit anyone else who does it, but we have been told many times that, you know, we're very true. We're not overreactive. Like, we don't like blow up a little noise or a little crunch. You know, we stay calm and stay true to what it is. Also, we're out there constantly, day in, day out. I cannot stress. And Kim's the same. When I'm at work, she's on the socials. She's out there pushing. I'm creating I edit every single minute of the videos. I don't just chuck it up. I see some teams do chuck the videos up and don't bother messing with it. As in like putting replays and the intro and just make it a bit more interactive for the viewers. It's all that in a mix. It's kind of like
and then at the end,
go ahead.
I was going to say once he's finished editing, I'll oversee just to make sure he's done a good job.
The boss has to approve it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I guess we all have to accept that, you know, us guys have to accept that women, when we're in a relationship, that women are the boss.
So,
yes.
Yes.
What a great man you are.
So, yeah, but, you know, do you think, let me ask you a question before you leave. Do you think, I'm really starting to believe this, that Facebook, as much as I hate Facebook, and I'll be honest, I'm not a huge Facebook fan. I'm really not. And that's why I started my own social media site. I don't know if you guys heard us talk about it at the beginning of the show. Me and my partner, we brought out a social media site called Parapost Network. And it just deals with everything paranormal. But do you think Facebook has anything to do with that? Because I'm finding that as much as I don't like Facebook, when you're doing lives on Facebook, it really seems to help out a lot.
Well, I'll answer this one because I run the Facebook page. But honest to God, Facebook is our least interactive social. Like, that is one place where we struggle the most to get any likes on our posts. I mean, we get a lot of people interacting when we're actually doing lives. Last night I think we had like 40 odd people watching us. But you know, like, yeah, but in general, like, we speak to a lot of people. Like, we're constantly messaging people are messaging us, asking us questions. We always reply. We're not ignorant or anything to people, and I think people just see that we're genuine, and that's just. But as for Facebook, I don't think it helps at all. I think, we really struggle with Facebook.
Oh dear, there's a nice comment from Ralph from GSI. I thought that I think that was really nice, and that's why I'm putting it up. Thank you very much, Ralph. Ralph and his team are just fabulous, incredible people, and they've invited Lex out on an investigation in October, and they're also on the same stream that I do, because I do put videos out on YouTube. I put clips from past investigations. I was putting out full videos, but now I'm just putting out mainly clips. I'll get down to full videos down the road, but mainly all my videos now are going to a streaming service called Paraflix. And it's a lot like Netflix, if you haven't heard of it. And
we've heard of that.
Yeah, it's just
GSI directed it.
What's that?
GSI mentioned it to us that they're on there, and
No, I introduced GSI to. They were on the show, and I introduced Paraflix to GSI because they'd never heard of it. Now they're on there, and they're doing well themselves. So it's just another platform to present your evidence and show what you guys love to do. And it's obvious that in your videos that you guys love doing what you're doing. I'm enjoying your videos. I'm going to continue watching them. And I really, I see a bright future for you guys on YouTube. And keep doing your thing. And Chris, keep doing your great thumbnails. And keep doing what you guys love. You guys obviously love it, and I really appreciate you both being on the show today. And I hope we can bring you on later on down the road again. Maybe we'll bring you on Parapost Live, because I have a show called Parapost Live, and we'll bring you on that show so people can another bunch of people can see you and subscribe to your channel. And I'd love to see you guys on Parapost and start posting your stuff. It'd be really good. And but again, thank you for coming on the show. I want to say my thank you. And
we're just really thankful that you've asked us to come on. We appreciate it, and not only that, it's nice making friends with other people that are interested in the same sort of thing as us.
Yeah, and across the pond too, which is always good. It's always nice having connections all over the world. I'm telling you, it's really, really helpful, because I've encountered somebody asked me a question, and I said, well, I know a team that's out in that area, and I'm going to send you to them so you can ask them about it. And it's just about making those connections. And I'm not a big thing on the family thing, but I'm definitely a big thing on community. And I think we're all one community that we have to stick together and just share each other's content, say nice things to each other, and that's it, right? So, but again, thank you very much for coming on today's show.
Anytime.
And thank you for having us.
If you want to say anything,
I want to say thank you again for having another British group on here.
By the way, we're gonna have another one next week, so
Ooh, nice. But I just want to say, but once again, thank you for coming on. I didn't realize until I went to watch your part 2 that I've already seen your first 3 videos, and I didn't know I'd seen them. I was like, I recognize the group's name, but I can't remember why. And then when I was looking at the video list, I was like, oh, I've watched those ones. I have seen them before. But it's definitely really cool to be reintroduced to it. And I'm looking forward to seeing, especially this museum one. I'm looking forward to you guys putting it up. And
that's brilliant.
But you're definitely on your way to being probably again up there with the top UK ones. And it's great to see some real strides from the England come up, because I don't know about you, bit bored of all the top paranormal creators being Americans. So I think it's about time.
I'm doing a museum. I just booked a museum for the 18th. The museum's been around since 1788.
Nice.
And so it's not the actual museum. It was a house, but it's been turned into a museum, and it was in the middle of the War of 1812. So I'm definitely looking for, and it was the last house standing when the war was done in the 1812. So, or actually 1814, because I believe it only lasted 2 years. But anyways, thanks again, guys. Definitely enjoy talking with you both. And thank you for being on the show.
No problem.
Thank you.
I know you're never short of guests, but if you're ever short, just call us up on the spot, and we'll happily jump on if you need.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And we'll definitely talk soon.
Speak later.
Bye, guys. Another UK group, and they were great. They really were. And some of UK people are just simply amazing people. And I've made some good friends with people from the UK, and so I made a mistake there. The guy that's coming up next week, he's from Scotland. I just actually booked him today.
Oh, nice.
So we were talking today, and he's going to come on the show next week. He's got another great channel, and so again, for people that were watching the show, their YouTube channel is in the description below. So if you want to go over and subscribe to their channel, go right ahead and do it. Maybe they got to 1,000 while we were on the air with them, because they were only 9 away. They were.
So
let's see if they got there. So you know what? I think they did. You're a little more faster on the searching for me.
They're on 993 now. They got 2 more.
Okay. So far. Good. So hopefully people will go over and watch their channel. They're 7 away from their 1,000. And I think that's just great for only been doing it for a couple of months. And it was really, really nice having him on the show. So what is your future plans for this week, Lex, before I let you go?
I'm taking it day by day, mate. I have no idea. Except for getting this video up by Wednesday. I'm so annoyed. But I also might be doing. I haven't decided yet. I might be doing a paranormal reaction video on the Lex Paranormal channel as well.
And there we go. Let's just put that up there. And you're welcome. And thank you very much for being on the show. It was awesome. It was awesome. I love you both. And I think you are people that I'm definitely going to be watching down the road and seeing how far you grow. That is for sure. But guys, that is our show. I want to thank everybody that came into our show today. And again, anybody that's watching the replays, please go over to their channel and subscribe, share out some of their videos, and hit that notification bell so you know when their videos have come out. But other than that, again, you know what, before I let you go, I said something before we went live to Lex. I said, thank you for being here. We're so happy to have you. And I thought that was hilarious. It was so hilarious. And it was always nice to see you, Lex. And I will say what I normally say, don't let yesterday use up today. And I got a new one. Just love everybody, enough of this crap. Just love everybody. And, stop the hate.
Yeah, that works. And that's it. Everybody stay safe, stay spooky, stay paranormal. See you next time.